Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Sarawakku sayang. Our guest of honor, the Right Honourable DATUK PATINGGI Tan Sri Dr. ABANG HAJI ABDUL Rahman ZOHARI, Bintun DATUK ABANG HAJI OPENG, Premier of Sarawak. The Honourable DATUK Sri Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government. The Honourable Datuk Sri Haji Muhammad Abu Bakar bin Marzuki, Sarawak State Secretary. Distinguished guests, the Honourable Dr. Anwar bin Rapai, Deputy Minister for Education, Innovation and Talent Development for Education and Innovation. Yang berusaha Tuan Haji Mersal bin Abang Rosli, Director of Yayasan Sarawak. Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Haji Azhar bin Haji Ahmad, Director of Sarawak State Education Department. Yang berusaha Dr. Eliza Fazliatun binti Alias, Chief Executive Officer of Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School. Yang berusaha Mr. Bahtiar bin Effendi, Principal of Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School, heads of department, heads of communities, parents, teachers, and students of Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this auspicious occasion here at Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School, a memorable moment with the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, so as to pray for blessings for today's ceremony, it is now with great pleasure to invite Al-Fadil Ustaz Muhammad Muazzam Mifzal bin Najaruddin, the Islamic education teacher of YSIS, to recite the dua. Al-Fadil Ustaz, tafaddal.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Al-Fatiha. آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم إنك سميع عليم إنك غفور رحيم إنك رب العرش العظيم. Ya Allah, we pray for your blessing for today's event. Ease everything for us from the beginning until the end. We thank you for the presence of the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak today, and we pray that he will always be in the greatness of health and well-being, along with his families, with your will. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, we thank you for making the establishment and operation of this school an ease. We thank you for easing individuals, communities, and everyone involved in establishing this school. We pray for ease and greatness for future establishments and operations on other international schools under Yayasan Sarawak. Ya Allah, Ya Kareem, we pray that this school will always be showered with your blessings. To you we rely on hope that this school and everything in it, all teachers, staffs and individuals, along with all the physical development and facilities, will always be under your greatness and mercy. To you we pray that this school will continue to be the center of education, that catalyzing future globally renowned scholars for Sarawak specifically and Malaysia in general. Ya Fa'alu lima yurid, to you we rely on the God who is great, most compassionate and most merciful among other of your names. We seek refuge from you on anything that could harm us and lead us away from you. To you we rely on for your ease and mercy. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you very much to Al-Fadil Ustaz Muhammad Muazzam Mifzal bin Najaruddin, the Islamic education teacher of YSIS, for the recitation of the dua. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is indeed an honor to welcome our guest of honor, the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak, here today at this grand memorable moment, meeting up with the students and the teachers of YSIS. So girls and boys, all right, this is the man who have made this school happen from a dream to now a reality. So please put your hands together for the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your kind presence today. And for now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure to invite you to focus your attention to the screen for this video presentation.
Welcome to the Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School, Putrajaya. The idea of setting up the Sarawak State Private Schools was mooted by the Premier of Sarawak, the Right Honourable DATUK PATINGGI Tan Sri Dr. ABANG HAJI ABDUL RAHMAN ZOHARI Bintun DATUK ABANG HAJI OPENG on the 24th of August 2017. On his opening remarks at the Council Negeri meeting. The then Ministry for Education, Science and Technological Research was tasked to study in detail the root causes of current problems in Sarawak education. Among the main challenges of our current education system include inadequate emphasis on English, resulting in low English proficiency amongst pupils. The teaching and learning approaches currently used in our schools are mostly conventional and will not be able to equip young Sarawakians with the skills needed for them to cope with the demands of the 21st century. Due to the high cost of education, parents with limited income cannot afford to send their children to private international schools. Therefore, it is recommended that Sarawak sets up its own private international schools to provide opportunities for high potential students from lower socio-economic backgrounds to be given the opportunity for quality education and to be developed as future leaders and to contribute to the development of Sarawak. Thus, the establishment of Sarawak State Private Schools will be run like private schools by the state government. 5 schools will be established. 2 schools in Kuching, 1 school each in Cebu, Bintulu and Miri. The objectives of establishing the Sarawak State Private Schools are to identify high potential pupils from socially economically disadvantaged families and to provide them with the opportunity to realise their full potential by giving them access to quality education, and to ensure that these pupils will continue to excel in their studies. Subsequently, it is hoped that these pupils will contribute back to the state after the completion of their tertiary education. The Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School, Putrajaya, is located in Kuching North, 12 kilometres from the city centre. It has 28 subject-based classrooms, equipped with science and ICT laboratories, libraries, a multi-purpose hall with badminton and futsal facilities, a football pitch, a basketball court, a state-of-the-art sports hall for games and fitness training, a performing arts room, pupils' hostels that can currently accommodate 150 boarders, and an administration block with meeting rooms and staff rooms. The curriculum. The medium of instruction and communication is English. The syllabus will be the Cambridge International General Certificate of Secondary Education, IGCSE. This will give the opportunity for students to continue their tertiary education either locally or overseas. However, to ensure that the pupils have the option to enter local universities, they will also be taught and prepared to take the Malaysian National Curriculum and to sit for their SPM examination. Thus, pupils will obtain both the IGCSE and SPM certificates after Form 5. The pupils will be provided with a strong academic foundation, especially in mathematics, sciences, English, and higher order thinking skills, which would enable them to excel in TIMSS and PISA, as well as their studies at tertiary level. The pupils are offered a range of sports and games to choose from, so they can excel as sportsmen and women. They will be trained in public speaking, leadership skills and global perspectives. The school premises were handed over to Yayasan Sarawak on 30th March 2022. The first intake of Year 7 pupils were registered on 3rd April 2022. The school term commenced on 4th April 2022. To prepare them for school, the pupils were oriented to the new environment to familiarise themselves with secondary school education and living in school as boarders, with one another, as they come from different parts of Sarawak, from different backgrounds and from different ethnic compositions, and with face-to-face schooling after 2 years of online lessons, and also with the use of English as a language of communication and instruction. It is our commitment to nurture our pupils so that they can become the model citizens and charismatic leaders of tomorrow. Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School, a premier school.
A big round of applause for that, Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps we have lots of questions about this brand new school. Well, they just started 5 months ago and we wonder how are they doing. But before we move on to our next agenda, that is a welcoming speech and a brief presentation on YSIS, first may I have the honor to introduce to you Yang Berusaha Mr. Bhatia bin Effendi, the principal of Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School. He has this bachelor degree holder in physics at the University of Kent, a master's in education at the University of Lancaster, and also achieved grade 8 in music from the Associated Board Royal School of Music, London. He started his career teaching English language, science, physics, and mathematics, and over the past 35 years has taught in 2 religious secondary schools, 3 fully residential secondary schools, 3-day secondary schools, including and 2 tours of being a senior assistant director of science, mathematics, and technology at the academic management sector of the Sarawak Education Department. So, Mr. B is the first appointed school principal in Sarawak who qualified with a national professional qualification of headship and a diploma in management and educational leadership in 2001 from the Aminuddin Baki Institute. So ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, please put your hands together for Mr. Bhatia bin Effendi, the principal of YSIS, or famously known as Mr. B. Mr. B, please, dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A very good morning and welcome to our school. Our Right Honourable Premier, Honourable Deputy Premier, Honourable Ministers, Honourable State Secretary, Honourable Deputy State Secretary, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, staff, beloved students, ladies and gentlemen. Today is an auspicious day for our school. It is the first time that our school receives such a great audience and entourage. This can only happen with the visit of our Right Honourable Premier, and we would like to express our sincere thanks and appreciation to our Right Honourable Premier for making time in his hectic schedule just to be with us this morning. We would like to thank our Honourable State Secretary, Datuk Sri Muhammad Abu Bakar Marzuki, for his concept of today's events and his determination to see it be carried to the best possible effect. Benjamin Franklin says, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Education requires costly resources like time and money, which are often hard to find. We are indeed thankful that our country, Malaysia, is one of the few nations in the world that allocates the most on education in its annual budget. That is why in government schools, parents do not need to pay anything for school fees, textbooks, or teachers' salaries. But today, ladies and gentlemen, in this hall, we are even more fortunate. I feel that we are the most fortunate in this whole country because our state government has given us this school, the Yayasan Sarawak International Secondary School. Thus, we would like to thank our Premier of Sarawak, the Right Honourable DATUK PATINGGI Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman ZOHARI bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji OPENG for his brilliant ideas and initiative, and our state government that approved the establishment of our school. Please allow me to share with you the journey of some significant individuals and those who have helped us personally to bring us to where we are today. This particular gentleman was tasked to make sure this project materializes. So he has been convincing everybody, the politicians, the cabinet, the education ministry, the school principals, teachers and pupils all over the state to help put this plan into reality, and at the same time to improve the quality of education and standard of English in our state. He has traveled all over the world just to see the best model of schools for us to emulate. Even though he is retired, he has not stopped his crusade because his passion to see the children in our state receive the best education is too great. I can tell you that he will not stop even the YC schools are built. He deserves to see the pupils in all the YC schools graduate to become the best leaders in our state. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to give our sincere thanks and appreciation to our Honourable Cikgu Dato' Amar Michael Mayin Jawong. We would like to express our thanks and gratitude to Datuk Kamri Haji Afandi, the Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, whose clear vision, outstanding insights and high expectations has made it easy for us to plan the school direction. We'd like to thank, he never